At 30, I thought I'd be living in a condo, driving a decent car, maybe planning a trip to Europe with my partner. Instead, I'm stuck renting a room, Ubering to work, and wondering how I let almost a decade of earnings slip through my fingers. And the scariest part, I didn't even see it coming. If you're somewhere between 25 and 40, please let me save you the regret. Money slips away when you don't pay attention, how just a little here and there turns into, where the hell did my money go? When I got my first real job at 22, making $38,000 a year, I felt like a king. No more ramen noodles. I could finally afford to live a little. So I did. I bought clothes I didn't need, subscribed to every streaming platform, ordered Uber Eats at 11 p.m. just because I was too lazy to microwave leftovers. I told myself, you work hard, you deserve it. And while I was treating myself, my money was silently walking out the back door. But here's the sneaky part. It never felt reckless. It felt normal. Everyone around me was doing the same thing. No one was talking about savings rates or emergency funds. And so I coasted, paycheck to paycheck, thinking I'd get serious later. Then I hit 30 and realized I'd earned over $250,000 in the past 8 years and had nothing to show for it. Not a house, not investments, not even a decent savings cushion. Awareness is the first step to control. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will decide for you, and it usually heads straight to Target, DoorDash, and credit card interest. Start by tracking, not to judge yourself, but to see the truth. Because once you see how much goes to nothing, you can start directing it towards something that actually matters. Stop calling consumption self-care. You don't have to go broke to feel better. One of the biggest cultural lies we've swallowed is that buying things equals taking care of ourselves. We've wrapped consumerism in the language of wellness. Burned out? Buy that $300 weighted blanket. Feeling low? Treat yourself to bottomless brunch with mimosas and a $60 Uber home. Stressed? Retail therapy. New shoes, new bag, new version of the same emptiness. I'm not anti-pleasure. I believe in joy. But joy that comes at the expense of your future isn't healing. It's avoidance. There's a big difference between self-care and self-soothing. Self-care is proactive, setting boundaries, building financial stability, saying no to things that hurt your long-term health, whether emotional or financial. Self-soothing is reactive, numbing with temporary pleasures to avoid confronting the deeper issues. What I needed in my 20s wasn't another shopping spree. I needed therapy. I needed structure. I needed people who weren't afraid to say, let's look at your spending habits and see what's really going on. Real self-care is building a life you don't have to escape from. It's having options, freedom, breathing room. And ironically, once you have that, you actually enjoy the simple pleasures so much more. Compound interest doesn't wait for you. The scariest math you'll ever love, if you start now. I remember rolling my eyes at those personal finance videos on YouTube. If you invest $100 a month starting at 25, by 60, you'll be a millionaire. It sounded like fantasy, like something for people with boring lives and spreadsheets for souls. What I didn't realize, compound interest isn't just a financial concept. It's a life hack. Every month you wait is a month of growth you'll never get back. Time is your most valuable investment tool, and once it's gone, it doesn't come back. Even an extra 5 years can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference. Let me put it bluntly. If you invest $200 a month from age 25 to 35 and then stop, while your friend starts at 35 and invests $200 a month until 65, you still end up with more. That's the power of starting early. I spent my 20s investing in clothes, phones, concerts, stuff that lost value the second I touched it. I should have been investing in assets that grow while I sleep. You don't need to time the market. You need time in the market. Start small, automate it, then forget about it until one day it changes your life. You're probably undervaluing yourself. No one will hand you the income you deserve. You have to claim it. I used to believe in paying your dues, that if I just worked harder, longer, and stayed nice, the universe would eventually reward me. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work that way. The job market doesn't reward silent loyalty. It rewards strategic visibility. The people who earn more, they're not always the smartest. They're the ones who know how to negotiate and aren't afraid to speak up. I stayed at jobs that underpaid me for years. Why? Because I was scared to ask, scared of rejection, scared I'd seem ungrateful. Meanwhile, people with less experience were leapfrogging me because they asked. A salary isn't just a number, it's your fuel. It determines how fast you build wealth, how soon you can escape the 9 to 5 grind, and how much breathing room you get in life. If you're not negotiating, you're leaving thousands on the table every single year, and that adds up to hundreds of thousands over a lifetime. Advocate for yourself like you would for your best friend. Track your wins. Know your market rate. And remember, if a company won't pay you what you're worth, they don't deserve your talent. Your financial environment shapes you. You rise or fall to the level of the people around you. This one hit me the hardest. When I looked around at 28 and saw that none of my friends were saving, budgeting, or investing, I realized why I wasn't either. It wasn't just about my habits. It was the ecosystem I was swimming in. Money was either a taboo topic or worse, a joke. Haha, just overdrafted again. We'd laugh about being broke, but inside, we were all anxious, ashamed, and pretending we were fine. Then I started seeking out new spaces, finance podcasts, Reddit threads, local workshops, a personal finance book club. Yes, those actually exist. I didn't ditch my friends. I just balanced the voices in my life. Now I talk openly about money, about goals, about building something real, and it's changed everything. You don't need rich friends. You need financially curious friends. People who ask better questions, who are okay being a little uncomfortable, who remind you that money isn't evil. It's a tool. Final thoughts. If you're 25 and feeling behind, you're not. You're early. If you're 30 and broke, welcome to the turning point. If you're 40 and starting over, you still have time, just not to waste. Every dollar has a job. Every habit has a ripple. Every choice either builds or breaks the life you're creating. So no matter where you are, choose better today, because your 10 years later self is counting on you. If this shifted your perspective, even just a little, I'd love to hear what you think. Drop a comment below. Your voice matters here. And if you're on a journey to understand money, to grow your wealth, your mindset, your future, hit that subscribe button. More content is coming. That'll help you get smarter and richer every single day.